A very good morning, respected brother principal, teachers, and my dear friends. We all know that one book, one pen, and one child can save the world. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, what do we see? What do we see everywhere around us? We see his small, delicate hands making tea next to the bus stand, bringing out iron clothes from the dhobi, and even sweeping the corners of a room quietly. The unshed tears in his eyes dissolve the smile of his face. And do we notice? Are we even aware? India is the biggest example of a nation plagued by child labor. At a tender age where they should be receiving education, vital to their development, an unbelievable amount of children are trapped in the clutches of exploitation and child labor. Neglected by the society, these innocent faces are struggling for their survival. Today's assembly is Class 6A's humble attempt to recognize this blot of child labor in the face of humanity and take small yet significant steps to empower each and every child with these loaded hands of labor to flourish their dreams. As a call to the Almighty, watching all upon us, let us commence our assembly with a prayer song.
तेरा आसमां तू बड़ा मेहरबान तू बख्शिश कर सभी का है तू सभी तेरे खुदा मेरे तू बख्शिश कर तेरी है ज़मीन तेरा आसमां तू बड़ा मेहरबान तू बख्शिश कर सभी का है तू सभी तेरे खुदा मेरे तू बख्शिश कर तेरी मर्जी से है मालिक हम इस दुनिया में आए हैं तेरी रहमत से हम सब ने ये जिस्म और जान पाए तू अपनी नजर हम पर रखना इस हाल में है ये खबर रखना तू अपनी नजर हम पर रखना इस हाल में है ये खबर रखना तेरी है ज़मीन तेरा आसमां तू बड़ा मेहरबान तू बख्शिश कर सभी का है तू सभी तेरे खुदा मेरे तू बख्शिश कर
What the law says about child labor. According to Article 23 of Indian Constitution, any type of forced labor is prohibited. Article 24 states that child under 14 years cannot be employed to perform any hazardous work. Article 39 states that health and strength of workers, men's and women's and tender age of children are not abused. In the same manner, Child Labor Act Prohibition and Regulation 1986 prohibits children under 14 years to be working in hazardous industries and processes.
And what better way than the power of words to highlight this spreading cancer of child labor in our society. In tune with this, here we have Prasanna Adhikari with a piece that brings forth the gravity of this evil around us.
Children are forced to work each day. How can I support my family with such little pay? I try to work hard, but I'm becoming very weak. Lowering my hours of work is all I seek. Dying slowly while I'm in the same spot, locked in a room which is dry and burning hot. All of the children who are holding on to their last breath, broken and missing limbs, is all I've left. Optimistic and strong, I'm just trying to look past it. Reaching for a glimpse of hope, but I can't seem to grasp it. Thank you.
June, World Day Against Child Labor, makes us question, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? As we all watch this act coming up, let us ask ourselves, are we doing enough?
देखो इन्हें ये है ओस की बूंदें, पत्तों की गोद में आसमां से कूदे, अंगड़ाई ले फिर करवट बदल कर, नाजुक से मोती हंस दे फिसल कर, खो न जाए तारे ज़मीं पर। ये तो है सर्दी में धूप की किरणें, उतरे जो आंगन को सुनहरा सा करने, मन के अंधेरों को रोशन सा कर दे, ठिठुरती हथेली की रंगत बदल दे, खो न जाए तारे ज़मीं पर।
All work done by children under the age of 15 and dangerous work done by children under the age of 18 is illegal. Child labor is prohibited under the international treaties and agreements. According to estimates by the International Labour Organization 2017, there are more than 5 million of children aged between 5 and 17 subject to labor. About 4.3 million of children aged between 5 and 17 are in forced labor. 70% works in agriculture, 18% in service sectors, 12% in heavy industries, 70% of children does unpaid work supporting their family. Experience shows that deep-rooted social norms, violation of workers' rights, discrimination against certain groups, and a poorly functioning educational system are the main reasons why children are not attending schools.
कैसे जीऊं रूह भी मुझसे है जुदा। क्यों मेरी राहें मुझसे पूछे घर कहाँ है, क्यों मुझसे आके दस्तक पूछे दर कहाँ है। राहें ऐसी जिनकी मंजिल भी नहीं, ढूंढो मुझे अब मैं रहता हूँ वहीं। दिल है कहीं और धड़कन है कहीं, सांसें हैं मगर क्यों जिंदा मैं नहीं। रेत बनी हाथों से यूं बह गई, तकदीर मेरी बिखरी हर जगह। कैसे लिखूं फिर से नई दास्तां, गम की स्याही दिखती है कहाँ। जो चुनी है मेरी थी रज़ा, रहता हूँ क्यों फिर खुद से ही खफा। ऐसी भी हुई थी मुझसे क्या खता, तूने जो मुझे दी जीने की सजा। बंदे तेरे माथे पे हैं जो खींचे, बस चंद लकीरों जितना है जहां। आंसू मेरे मुझको मिटा।
When in doubt, choose change. I cannot say that things will get better if we change. But what I can say is that they must change if they are to get better. Next in line is a song that echoes this very feeling of the old world order giving way to the new.
One more step along the world I go. Child labor exists because people accept it and invent excuses for it. The education system excludes poor and vulnerable children. There is no decent work for adults. Employers can benefit cheap labor. Together we can stop child labor by no longer accepting it. Not in mines, not on fields, not in factories, not in domestic settings, and not in the products we buy. This is why we call on our governments, businesses, and consumers worldwide to shoulder their responsibility and work together towards a child labor-free world.
Some facts about child labor. According to the Indian census, There are 11.28 million working children under the age of 14 years in India. Over 85% of child labor in the country's rural areas are working in agricultural activities such as farming, livestock, rearing, forestry, and fisheries. The world's highest number of working children is in India. ILO estimates that 218 million children were involved in child labor in 2004, of which 126 million were engaged in hazardous work. Over 19 lakh child laborers in the age group of 5 to 14 are in Uttar Pradesh. Rajasthan accounts for over 12.6 lakh workers, followed by Bihar with over 11 lakh and Madhya Pradesh with 10.6 lakh. However, according to the 2001 census, Andhra Pradesh with 13.6 lakh child labor stands second in the national list after UP, Uttar Pradesh. Thank you.
Now, as a summary of what has been going around us, coming up on the other side is the SEM News.
Good morning everyone. I, Mayank Rekwal, presents SEM News. Half-yearly offline examinations got over on 1st October 2021 following all the COVID-19 protocols. TT final was held on the 2nd of October. The registration for the coming events at St. Mary's, Dum Dum, Kolkata and the Columban Fest were online done by the students. Over to my partner Divyansh.
It's a great pleasure for us to inform you all that Devansh Pandey, an alumni of St. Joseph's College, has cleared the Civil Service Exam 2020. He had scored All India rank 201. He was from the ICSC batch of 2013 and passed with 94%. And he passed the ISC batch of 2015 with an aggregate of 96.5%. Further, he did his graduation in computer engineering from GB Pant University, Pantnagar in the batch of 2015 to 2019. We congratulate him for his success and pray to the Almighty that as a civil servant, may he achieve his goals and desires. May he succeed in all his plans and achieve great heights. Investiture ceremony was held on 2nd of October 2021. Oath was taken by the captains and vice captains. Special training program was conducted by the extra marks expert to help out teachers to use smart boards. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Knowledge is power, and I shall forever be grateful to my alma mater for this. Walking through the gates, looking at the view that I was used to over 3 decades ago is an experience difficult to express in just a few words. My foundation in becoming a doctor came from these words. Thank you to Principal Pinto for making me, my wife and my daughters relive my memories. On my part, I hope to help my alma mater in some way or the other. There is so much that we Semites can do for a beautiful school. It was wonderful to witness the positive change that Brother Pinto has brought. I am sure that the next generation of Semites will take the advantage of the tennis courts, the squash courts, the cliff, the tunnel, the revamped classrooms, gymnasium, etc. Wishing everyone all the best and bowing down to all my teachers who made me what I am. Amit R. Godiyal, 1979 to 1988. The idea of boarding schools has haunted me since my childhood. In army terms, it was always a punishment posting. St. Joseph's College has broken that glass ceiling definitely. It feels like a heaven here on the contrary. The kids are happier than their homes. Nature has bestowed its blessing over the school with its heart open and poured its fruit with open arms. It has a peaceful, serene environment. Brother Hector seems and feels like a friend to all the kids. He knows each one of them by name and have an individual relation with each one of them. They are truly happy in his company, smiling ear to ear. The old vintage building has its own charm. It will grow and you will never want to leave the place. The school tries and succeeds in every way to keep itself updated while holding our culture and morals. I wish Brother Hector and the school all the luck and God's peace and mercy and God's speed. Thank you for the lovely interaction and knowledgeful history of the school. We'll try to be in touch and love to have a good bond. Thanks once again for everything. Dheeraj and Ghazla. Coming back to a dear old Sem brings back all the wonderful memories. I believe Sem has made me who I am today. Hope we keep nurturing the future students the same way we were here. Brother Hector Pinto has worked tirelessly in restoring our past glory. I wish him and the entire school staff the very best for the future.
Dear Brother Pinto, thank you for giving me an opportunity to interact with the senior students. I hope some of them choose to join the armed forces. The all-round improvements brought about by you is praiseworthy. The park is beautiful, a labor of love, constructed with such ingenuity. And the tunnel, a cold storage converted and furnished as a work of art. Sem, under your stewardship, is poised to become one of the finest educational institutes. Good to see that sports, one of our strong points, is being encouraged. A world-class squash court and synthetic tennis court that are being prepared is something to be proud of. On behalf of Mr. Prem Kapil, Dr. Ashish Jaiswal and self, we convey to you our heartfelt gratitude. We are proud to be from SEM. Our best wishes to you, Brother Ryan, teachers, staff and students of SEM. Regards, Shiv Jaiswal. It's been a pleasure to visit SEM after ages. All remains same with, of course, the changes with time. I'm thankful to the principal, Brother Pinto, for giving us time, showing us around the school, and listening patiently to our old faces. It's great and with much pride that SEM is catching up to its glory. Thank you, Captain Anubhav Tandon, SEM 1995 batch. The school feels like being at home. The principal, Brother Pinto, took us around and showed us all the changes. It's a wonderful place to be in. Thank you, Webb of Tandon, SEM 2000 batch.
Hopeful eyes, happy smiles, and a million dreams. Isn't that the identity of a child? Then why should they be deprived of their childhood, overloaded with work and burdened with responsibility? There is much more to learn and much more to accomplish here, ladies and gentlemen. Today, let us all promise ourselves that we will fight for a cause. We will raise our voices against this. Now, let us all join our hands and spirits together to end this menace once and for all. Well, last but certainly not the least, as a reinforcing measure, we would like to conclude our assembly with our college anthem.
Heard of many a school I trod, and many a college too, but there is For a century and more 'tis known as the home of the true and bold. For a century and more 'tis known as the home of the true and bold. Was called at first the good old Sam and later SJC. And here a place cannot be found, at least for you and me. This boy's a hard to beat, my friend, in classroom with no fame. Their motto down the years has been, make sure to play the game. Their motto down the years has been, make sure to play the game. And here's to the boys of SJC, to a children every man. And pass the word to those who come, give the motto of the clan. And down the years to fight life's fight, to fight it clean and neat. Among the boys who have kept the break, a dear